in that same year for her role in the Minority Ophthalmology Mentoring Program MOM from AAO. Now, I'm only going to go back to 2014, about 10 years, because her accolades and awards are so numerous. In 2017, she received the Women in Ophthalmology Woman of the Year Award at the AAO meeting. She also received in that year the Inspirational Physician Recognition Award from the Women Physicians Section of the American Medical Association. Currently, she's president-elect of the Howard University Medical Staff, as well as chair of the Credentials Committee. What leads someone to be who they are? For those of you who've known Dr. Jones, and I've known her for a number of years now, I just want to draw attention to the fact that she is a legacy. Her parents being physicians. The late Dr. Leroy Stiff was a prominent OBGYN in Hampton, Virginia, where Dr. Jones was raised. Her mother, Dr. Minnie Stiff, a retired pediatrician, is here tonight. Dr. Stiff, would you please stand? Dr. Jones is many things, but her family has supported her so much. Her dedicated husband, Ted, and her 3 children, Olivia, Sydney, and Ted III, have been a driving force in her career. To me, she's the 8th wonder of the world. I have the highest respect and admiration for this incredible lady. I love you, Leslie. Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations, Leslie.
Congratulations, Dr. Jones. Very nice. So next, wasn't that wonderful? Absolutely. And next we are going to award the Outstanding Mentorship Award. The nominated mentors have played a significant role in providing excellent guidance, advice, feedback, and support while molding those who have been mentored. I'm going to call for a helping hand on this one. Will Dr. Angela Elam please come and help me present the award to the Outstanding Mentor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is my great honor to introduce the inaugural NMA Mentorship Award. I first met our awardee back in 2008 when we were medical students, and I remember thinking, who is this man who thinks he is God's gift to the world? But over the years, I have come to realize that he doesn't think he is God's gift, he knows it. And I mean that in the best way. I mean that he knows that he is in his purpose, and that is why he excels in everything that he does. Not only is he God's gift to his beautiful family, to ophthalmology, to medicine as a whole, but certainly to his mentees. Hundreds of mentees at this point. He's helped develop a program that ushers undergraduate students into medical school with the hope that they'll become ophthalmologists, and certainly with Brad Venable, dozens, hundreds of mentees at this point. He is on every board that you can think of that involves medical education, and really has been since a medical student. In NBME, USMLE, anything that has acronyms with letters involving medical education, he is at the table and helping to make medicine better really for everyone. but he pours into every one of his mentees in a way. He does it because he not only, he sees the gift in each one of them. I don't know when he sleeps, but it's because he is dedicated to each one of the mentees that, you all that are here. He is completely and totally dedicated to making sure that you all realize your full potential as physicians and hopefully as ophthalmologists. It's an honor to give him this award with his beautiful family here, his wife Letitia, and beautiful babies Caleb and Simone. We are just so honored and grateful for his presence in our field. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Oris J.
I feel like if I had to say something, then Dr. Jones should be given the opportunity to come back up here and say something. I love this room. I love everything that we stand for. I love that everyone circles around our students, our residents, our trainees, and thank you for trusting me to continue the program. Thank you, Dr. Olivier. Thank you, Dr. Miller. You all are my world. Thank you.
And our next award, again, is for outstanding mentorship. I'm going to call a friend, Dr. Ross Amara. Where are you? Thank you. Please join me.
So the awardee for this particular award is responsible for training a generation of clinically sound and socially aware, surgically stellar ocular surgeons. I'm a beneficiary of this person's mentorship. They are a mentor to a generation of underrepresented in medicine ophthalmologists nationally. Personally, this person I've never walked away from a mentoring session from this person without feeling empowered, valued, and with actionable items for improvement. This person works tirelessly, bolstering the pipeline to address disparities in ophthalmology by training the next generation of ophthalmologists to address the same problem. She's so dedicated to this role that a choice few of her mentees call her the Harriet Tubman of ophthalmology. She has single-handedly ushered a population of people of color in ophthalmology, and she's ushered us all to the promised land. I know that she really appreciates fantasy and science fiction. We bond over those things. And I am fortunate to have been personally mentored by this person and sponsored by this person. But I think the truest blessing was having the opportunity to work with her, to be trained by her, and probably the most important, to call her my friend. I'm just so honored to have been asked to present this award to her. She is extremely deserving of it. That person is Edie Miller.
All right, Edie.
guys up here. But first I want to say thank you to Mara for that wonderful introduction. And then I have to say that, this award really belongs to the two of us. I see Dr. Olivier down there, my partner in crime. And also, this entire room. As they say, it takes a village. And none of us can do it alone. And when I look out there, I see the people who mentored me and supported me and told me that when I just didn't think that things were possible, that it could, and how much, sort of they endured so all of us could continue to do what we do. And I'm very grateful, and thank you very much. And just seeing, all the Rad Venable students and all the people who have sort of come through the pipeline, it just makes everything worthwhile. So thank you so much.
Okay, and so we're at the point where we're going to announce the Emerging Leader Award. This nominated leader has played a significant role, or significant roles rather, and is, in the eyes of your peers, destined to become one of the most influential ophthalmologists of our generation. Unfortunately, Dr. Basil Williams cannot be here with us tonight, but he is the recipient, in fact, of the Emerging Leader Award. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. And we will see Dr. Williams tomorrow during his presentation to present this award to him in person. So next up is the Humanitarian Award. And as you can imagine, a lot of us, and we've heard from a lot of our colleagues this morning, as a matter of fact, about some of the missions and some of the exciting times that they've had abroad on their humanitarian expeditions. These nominated humanitarians have unselfishly given their time, knowledge, and clinical expertise for the benefit of helping patients and empowering colleagues with their knowledge, both at home and abroad. I'm going to call up a couple of friends to help me out on this one. Where's Dr. Edgehill? Please join me in presenting the award for the humanitarian.
So I'm just going to keep it personal. The person that I'm going to present this award to is somebody who I look at as a mentor. When I first came to NMA, he was actually the chair of the section, and I was just competing as part of the Rad Venable competition. Throughout the years, I've tried to emulate him because he is a very successful glaucoma specialist who cares deeply about his community and about his people. He's done many medical missions throughout the country, and when he was starting a scholarship to help medical students get into ophthalmology, I was one of the first people to get on board with it. But you can't out-Africa this man. I tried to compete with him, meeting after meeting, by wearing jewelry. I'll put on one bracelet, he'll put on 3. I put on a necklace, he puts on a necklace with a bigger medallion, and it walks up with a cane and an ankh. And then he writes a book, and then he does all of these articles in 1 year and probably visited 50 out of the 54 countries in Africa within 2 years. So he set the bar very high. But all of this is grounded in the love for his people. And all of this is grounded in educating us about the greatness that we come from. We were kings, we were queens. We created math, science. We created ophthalmology. And this is something he says over and over. And you can't be around him without feeling pride in yourself. So I'm not going to go on forever because he is somebody that everybody knows. He makes his presence known when he's in the room. So we are awarding this to Dr. Daniel LaRoche. Come on out.
say to Monique, to Dr. Edghill about this award. I've been a member of this NMA Ophthalmology Section ever since I became an ophthalmologist over the past 25 plus years. It's been a very important organization in my life. I've learned from everybody, all the senior members in this room, and for the mentoring and the guidance in that respect. The eye is part of the body, okay? A lot of us have excelled to be excellent eye surgeons, glaucoma specialists, who can help prevent glaucoma with early cataract surgery and MIGS, but our community is still very sick, okay? The sickness in our community relates to the lack of culture that we have lost. We have lost our way, the culture has been stripped from us. So what motivates me with the work that I do is to help bring back the culture and relearn the culture. I'm still a student. Our culture goes back millions of years, okay? One of the things that represents, you see me walking around with this on, people ask me what this is. This is our original cross, 3,000 years before the cross of Jesus Christ. You've heard of the 10 Commandments. We have 42 laws and commandments called the 42 Laws of Ma'at. That was the moral code of conduct that built character in the people, character in the community to have the most successful civilization in the Nile Valley that people try to emulate today, okay? The culture is our medicine. The culture is going to be a part to the resurrection, to rebuilding, to the greatness of our community. And so we must continue to learn this. And don't have to believe anything they say. You can research it and look it up for yourself. But I want to just say thank you to everybody and congratulations on this lovely evening.
And continuing on, we have our next humanitarian award. I'm going to call my friend back there, Dr. Nanita Brown. Will you please come up and help me? Thank you.
So, I've been following this person since I was a medical student. And when you are an imposter and you see somebody that is a couple steps ahead of you, that is still smiling, still showing up, still energized, and still encouraging you, it makes you a better person. And you just want to do better and work harder and be a better surgeon. So in honor of that, Dr. Edghill, we are presenting you with an award because, you know, I don't have all the African garb, but the righteousness that you speak and that you live is resonating not only to the students and the people in this space, but across the world. Thank you for your work.
All right.
Will be awarded for service to the NMA Ophthalmology Section organization and to the field of ophthalmology as well. This ophthalmologist continuously supports industry-wide endeavors. They demonstrate exemplary skills with implementation of new initiatives and they engage in productive collaborations with colleagues. Dr. Edgehill, I'd like for you to add to that.
I should just stay up here, right? This person, actually I'm wearing this daishiki in honor of this person because when I first met her, we were in Ghana, Africa, doing a medical mission with the SNMA. Some people you meet, you realize later in life are supposed to be a part of your life long term, even though when you first meet them, it just feels like a brief moment. Years later, we reconnected. She was a medical student and I was a fellow at Duke. And then again, we reconnected at NMA when I was the chair and she was my CME chair. And we actually had to get NMA through a very difficult time because our administrator for over 30 years was retiring, COVID hit, and this person helped me get through my chairmanship and I helped her get through her chairmanship. And we did it from live in-person meetings to the virtual platform, then from the virtual platform back to live again. And thank God we were able to do it without a hitch. This is my text buddy in the middle of meetings when you're not sure what's going on. You text that person like, who is this? You know? Whenever I don't know somebody's name, she's the one I text to ask because she knows everybody, including everybody in pharma, all the medical students, all of the doctors. She just has a steel-trap mind that knows everybody. And more importantly, she really cares about what she does and what she gets involved with. Everybody that knows Dr. Nanita Brown knows that you've met somebody who really cares. So come on back up here.
Just about wrapping this up, and I know everyone's still very excited. I can feel that in the room. Now we are going to recognize our scientific contributors. And we do have some real scientists in our group. The nominated ophthalmologists have attained recognition by professional societies, community organizations, or other external bodies in recognition of their independence of thought, originality, and significance of discovery, which has impacted, the field of ophthalmology. I'm going to ask that Dr. Warretta please come and help me present the first award for scientific contribution.
So the next award will be given to an individual who has made incredible contributions to our field on so many levels, really more than any of us can dream of achieving in a lifetime of academia. So in addition to being a mentor to so many within NMA and a personal mentor to me in my journey in academia, a mentor to those in ABPO, in her department where she is one of the few women colors of chair in the US. She has made incredible scientific contributions to the field of ophthalmic genetics. Over the past 25 years, she has led a basic science research laboratory focusing on ophthalmic genetics in refractive error, ocular development, and childhood glaucoma. She has authored over 220 peer-reviewed scientific publications, numerous book chapters, and reviews. She is associate editor of the Journal of JPOS, She serves on numerous editorial boards, NIH study sections. She's a member of NEI's Board of Scientific Counselors. She's on numerous ARGO committees. I told you it's more than many of us can achieve in a lifetime. She has received numerous awards from the Academy and the American Association of Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus. She was an ARGO Gold Fellow. She's the chair of any diversity committee at the higher level that you can think of, including ARGO. She was chair of the AAO Diversity and Equity and Inclusion Task Force, which we heard about earlier in our symposium. She's on the board of trustees of the AUPO, the HEED Fellow. She's received senior honor awards from APOS and AAO, is a fellow of the American Ophthalmological Society, again, one of the few women of color in this organization. Last year, she received a Women in Ophthalmology award for being a champion for women in ophthalmology. So again, innumerable contributions to our field. So it's really my honor to present the Scientific Contribution Award to Dr. Terry Young.
All right. Congratulations. Oh, I got it. Monique.
Wow, that's heavy. I'm hoping I can actually take it on a plane tomorrow. It's considered a weapon. I am just so honored to, be a part of the cohort tonight. Everybody's just a rock star, and just thank you so much for this honor. I'm really, really grateful. I was talking with a group of folks today, and I just thought of something. It was about taking on the greater positions of responsibility, especially in academic ophthalmology, academic medicine. And it was clear that imposter syndrome, which had been mentioned actually tonight too, was pervasive. There's a sort of the sense of, I'm not ready yet, I need to do this or that, or I need to somehow have this good housekeeping seal of approval or some certificate, or somebody needs to just say, yes, you're ready to take on this role. We talked a lot about grit, we talked a lot about perseverance, but I think one thing we didn't talk about was about courage. And one thing I just wanted to share with you is I think that that's really one of the key elements. So my message to you is to choose courage as you travel through your life journey, especially a career journey. I know so many of you have shied away from taking on a role or opportunity because you didn't feel confident enough. I was one of them initially, until I realized that it did not serve me well. And more importantly, it did not serve the issue or the mission either. So my inner critic would say that I wasn't ready yet, was not capable enough, or just didn't have enough experience. But somehow as you do all these things some of you've listed, you just get involved, you find your passions and you let that drive you. People recognize that. They ask you to do more things. You do more things. You get more recognition. You take on more leadership roles. And it's just really important to just keep that up. Don't underestimate the impact of small yet significant acts of courage, especially because they're additive, they're foundational, and they'll get you to places that you've never imagined. One thing I just want to end with is a quote by Marianne Williamson, who wrote A Return to Love, Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not save the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So again, I just say, choose courage. Courage will expand your horizons. You'll be involved in larger networks than you ever imagined. And your life will shrink or expand in proportion to your courage. So just choose courage, along with grit and perseverance, but courage. Thank you again for your work.
All right. Yes. Congratulations.
Okay, and we have one more scientific contribution award, and I'm going to call Dr. Wanyawu up to help me present this one.
I'm recovering from that because that hit me so deeply, Dr. Young. That was really, really awesome, really beautiful. Okay, y'all already know who this human is. I'm gonna try to pretend like everybody else and tell a story. So, this person is someone that I was an intern with, someone that I met on the interview trail who leads with passion. That's why we get along. Who is tenacious, who perseveres, and she does the things that she is called to do. And when you have someone to walk with that breathes and moves in that way, you cannot help but to show up and bring your full self to the things that we are called to do. We are very junior in this life, and this person has so much more to give to ophthalmology. She is an assistant professor and has done her body of work already. I call her my sister for so many reasons. We talk every other week about this work, sometimes not about this work, sometimes about these kids. We were pregnant twice at the same time. And I am still in awe of her. Most times. Yeah. She's just amazing. And I want everyone to know how amazing she is, because she will never tell you. So, I am her hype woman, and I will do it until the end of time, because y'all gonna give my girl her flowers. So this award goes to the Angela Ian. Thank you so much. I appreciate just being here. This is a family reunion, and I love it. And all of the whatever anybody else says, as long as my folks are behind me, I'm good. And y'all are my folks and have been. I don't know if I had the honor of seeing Black ophthalmologists when I was a medical student at Duke, Dr. Young, Dr. Herndon, Benjio was a fellow when I was there. I mean, obviously I know ophthalmology is not all Black, but it feels that way when you come to NMA and you're supported by your folks. Dr. Herndon was the first person who said, you need to be a part of RAB. I emailed Dr. Miller Ellis, and said, my family's in Philly, I'm coming up there to visit, and she said, say less. She met me at a Starbucks at King of Prussia and told me all about Rad Venable and mandated that I submit an abstract. And so I said, yes ma'am, and I did, and that was 2008, and NMA has been family ever since. And so to all of the students, I just encourage you, and those who, I've spoken to, you hear me say, like, you gotta do NMA, you gotta be in RAB, because that is the foundation, it is your support system, you come every year, you get rejuvenated, it's family. I mean, my very best friends are here, and I've met through RAB Venable, so I just love y'all, and I appreciate this so much. Thank you.
Wow, that was certainly exciting there. So now we're at the moment and the highlight of the evening, and that is for the Lifetime Achievement Award. And the Lifetime Achievement Award is the most prestigious award that is bestowed upon the ophthalmologist who has made significant and sustained contributions to the development and/or dissemination of ethical principles that govern the field of ophthalmology in a way that their scholarship and administration and leadership and mentoring has impacted others. I'm going to ask my friend Dr. Mildred Olivier to please come forward to help me with the presentation of this prestigious award.
Good evening. So I need my slides. It really is my honor tonight to give this award to somebody who is well deserving and 93 years old. I still don't have my slides. There we are. This is, as you can see, Dr. Chester Pryor, who's up front and also here with his son as well, Marcus. I'm gonna, hopefully, it's not on my, can you play the video for me? This is in his own words, Dr. Pryor. Oh, we don't hear Dr. Pryor.
Neuro-ophthalmologist, I guess you would say. He was guest speaker here at one time and reminded me that I was supposed to be a volunteer in the department. And I told him I would remain there. So I've been connected with the department ever since 1961.
He was talking there about his early years and how he got involved. This is not...
Dr. Dave.
Oh, okay. He's got a lot of accomplishments. He was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let me do this because this is... He got his his bachelor's degree in chemistry at Central State University in Ohio. He was the first African-American intern to practice in the private hospitals and also to supervise the ophthalmic community. He only missed one NMA meeting of the scientific and always was the very first to arrive.
And I don't know if he probably got there also the first thing this morning, but there was always a competition between Dr. Maurice Rabb and Dr. Chester Pryor, who was gonna get there first. And so already then, he had a lot of ethical and professional mannerisms. He's had 6 decades of dedication to the profession. Next slide. And you can see here a lot of his accomplishment. Graduating from Howard University. In 1958, he was an ophthalmic resident at Boston City Hospital, and that's what he was kind of talking about before. He was the first African-American recipient to be a competitive Heat Fellow. I mean, even now, I thought that was a secret society of which I hardly see any black physicians in, and he was really one of the first to get that, and be recognized already for his excellence in his field. In 1959-61, he was captain of the U.S. Army in Fort Bragg. Again, the first board-certified African-American ophthalmologist. He was the first African-American treasurer for the Cincinnati Academy of Medicine and president of the Cincinnati Eye Society and faculty member at the University of Cincinnati's Department of Ophthalmology, where he's currently professor emeritus. He has so many active community and service organizations that he's involved in. Next slide.
Hardworking, diligent, respectful, just a super kind person. I have people that know me for a long time, and they will say, "You're just like your dad." And that's kind of the highest praise I could get.
And that's from his son Marcus. Next slide. And this you can see is the family. He's with that dog that's always on his lap. He's so excited about. What I didn't know about Chester until recently was that he was an avid photographer. He loved photography. He always had a camera, always taking lots of pictures. He has a lot of grandchildren, and here he is. And I think we're in Philly then when he joined in the picture. Next slide.
Like, I'm positive he has pictures. I don't know that we can find them, but I'm positive whatever picture you want, he took a picture of it. He's probably a million photos. He loves taking photos and loves cameras. And I think Nikon is your brand. Is it Nikon? Yep, Nikon's the brand.
That's his granddaughter speaking about Chester. Next slide. And you can see some of these pictures. The other thing he really loves is his first car, I think, was a Cadillac. It was in front of the house, and now his granddaughter this is her car now. She just bought a Cadillac too. And so they have a lot of things in common. And there's the dog in the pool. And him in Fort Bragg up in the center there. And again, with family. Next slide. So you can see he's got just a lot of firsts, a lot of accomplishments, and a lot of organizations. Every Sunday he goes to church. He travels so much these days for all the organizations for which he's part of. But really for the ophthalmology section, he was really one of the founders that created this ophthalmology section. They created the way we do the ophthalmology scientific. And in fact, the rest of the NMA subspecialists started to do the same thing of having an annual scientific session. I think they started with a half day and it started to grow. He was also very monumental in laying the groundwork for the Roman Barnes Society that was established at a time when the civil rights movement was going on. And he also has, at University of Cincinnati, the endowed lectureship of ethics and professionalism. In fact, Dr. E.B. Miller was the last person to give that in December of last year. And you can see he's on a lot of boards, but very deep in his faith. In fact, he's mentored so many individuals, one of which I think was this young kid who wanted to know, what do you do? You're an ophthalmologist, went to his office, and today is an ophthalmologist in Cincinnati. And that's just one of the many, many stories that there are. He has touched so many people's lives. And he calls me about every other day, sometimes once a week, just to make sure I'm doing okay. And he's referred patients to me that were in Chicago as well. And he's mentored so many and I hope that some of you who don't know him, particularly the Rav Venable students and residents and fellows, really get to say hi to Chester tonight. Next slide.
Well, Dad, it's been a long time. It's been a journey. It's been a great one. Thanks for being you.
And thank you, Chester, for being you. Once again, congratulations on this Lifetime Achievement Award for getting the National Medical Association's Ophthalmology Section to this point. Thank you, Dr. Pryor.
I'd like to have all the board members please come to the front. We'll be taking a photo. And all ophthalmologists, please come to the front so that we may take a group photo.
Did you just continue recording from this?
All ophthalmologists, please come to the front so that we may have a photo together with the awardees and our Lifetime Achievement Award.
I want some. I want some. No. Don't stop the video. Yeah, it's just continue with the video. Continue with the video.
Don't go. And then after you go. $1 million. It's supposed to be in the Marcus is gonna come in. $1 million. Oh yeah, come on. Okay, Marcus coming. And right now. You get them first. Dr. Pryor. Jackie.
Jackie, you in the way.
Move, Jackie. You want me to wait?
Oh, not the way.
Built in.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
No, actually, but I did. Actually, one of my papers.
Well done.
Thank you.
Much deserved.
Thank you.
This event with Mildred stretching the truth that she's done tonight has left me speechless. I just want to say thank you. And on behalf of the original group, which was about 6, that fought to create this now entity as the Ophthalmology Section, I'm privileged to live to see their dream come true. It is magnificent to see the number of African Americans assembled here compared to the old days when we were not welcome anywhere. It was a struggle for Black physicians to get hospital training. The night is long and I'll shut up. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pryor. So we have one final award of the night, after which we will conclude. This goes to our youngest NMA Ophthalmology member in honor of Dr. Vanessa McKay, who used to be a co-moderator for the session before her untimely death of breast cancer, and her family has created this scholarship in memory of her. So I'm going to invite Dr. Jones up to present this.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, Dr. Pryor, for everything, your tremendous contributions to our section. It's been wonderful to work with you over the years. You know, we should have ended on that amazing note, but you would agree too that it's about the future. So I get to present this last award. I have to talk a little bit about Vanessa and Guy King, so I hope you'll honor me with that. She was one of my residents, and I have the pleasure of looking in this room and seeing many residents that I've worked with in the past, and it's an amazing feeling. She was a dedicated ophthalmologist. She received her medical degree from the Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. And she came to us as a senior medical student interviewing for ophthalmology. And she experienced the rite of passage interview, which is this panel interview with all the ophthalmology faculty. And I remember sitting next to Dr. Copeland, Dr. Kidwell, and some others. And you know, she just commanded the room with her enthusiasm, and above all of that, her confidence. And so, you know, we all asked our various questions, and Dr. Copeland turns to her and said, you know, if you become an ophthalmologist, you know, what do you want to do, you know, when you finish and you finished with your training? And she said to him, I want your job. And it was a truly unique answer. She was a competitor, you know, I don't know if many of you knew, she was a very accomplished competitive tennis player, and she brought that skill and gamesmanship to everything. But more than that, she was compassionate. She had compassion for her colleagues, and you know, the residents that went through with her. Thomas Hunter, I think, is in the room. One of her back in the back now, will tell you that she cared for and took care of her fellow residents. But most of all, it was about the patients. She had a special bond. You all can see Vanessa. She had some interviews, I think, with the Academy on the website of the practices she worked in. And you could tell that connection she had with each and every patient. So it's an honor to give this award. We've awarded Howard medical students, and we have a very special medical student to honor today, and his name is Harold Dorsey. And I want Harold to walk towards the stage now. He has been a stellar scholar at Howard, AOA, brilliant, excellent with patients, embodies that compassion and drive that Vanessa embodied. And so it is my pleasure to award you the Vanessa and Guy King Scholarship for 2023. Harold will be doing his residency at Harvard University's Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, and we're looking forward to all the things you'll do in the future in ophthalmology. And so, since I didn't get to say it earlier, thank you all to the section for your support of my professional development over the years and for this wonderful Educator Award. Thank you.
A special thanks for Dr. Barber. As you can see, we had many awards to give in our first year, and so we'll continue this as a tradition every year. I just want to close with a final thank you to Jackie, who really worked so hard to make this night possible. So thank you, Jackie, and we'll see everyone at 7 a.m. to celebrate our Black medical students and their